I find it easier to go live on YouTube because nobody watches the video, so I feel less pressure. Also, how cute is this little guy or girl? Just a little pug they put on the glass. Anyway, today it was the ex-alumni barbecue at NFTS. Now, I had read the email, like I read it, I like so quickly signed up. I was like, this is such an outstanding opportunity, like as a current like student to get to meet other people, like people that have been in the industry and they're coming back, and like it's going to be such an outstanding opportunity to like network with everybody. And then I was like, I'm getting off of the train, and I had like messaged my class group being like, hey, who else is coming to the barbecue? And then they were like, I think that they were like, oh no, like I read it as if it was only for ex-alumni. And I was like, no way. That's kind of weird. Why would they just do one for ex-alumni and like take out the opportunity of like networking with different class, like year groups? But true, like I get to the school and they were like, "Oh, I didn't realize you had already studied at an FTS." And I was like, No, I am currently studying, but I have an essay due, so like I use the time to just like go in and do some work." And recently I had like developed this like weird pain here that I hadn't had before. It's not there all the time. It's kind of like stress related and like bad posture because I had been sitting on this like yoga ball and like in this like um improvised desk off home office situation. And I had been so with a lot of negative thoughts because actually like there I think I don't know, there was this connotation, probably from like 90s work culture of like, oh, stress means like you're really pushing yourself, you're really going out there and achieving things. But actually like stress is just fear, and with a Thrive program, usually what you do is if you have a negative thought, you just face it. Literally, this is the key to like the difference between bad mental health and good mental health, at least for me. It's if you run away from a thought that scares you, that leads to bad mental health, like just from my personal experience. Because you start doing like coping mechanisms, like if and you just like try to ignore it because you're like, oh, I don't have time to even face this thought. I don't, but actually, no, like, because if I don't look at it and like then discard the thought, it's gonna keep going round and round around my head, like sort of as a background noise, kind of like, yeah. And so like I'm trying to focus on this essay, and I'm just thinking like, oh, I'm never gonna finish. It's not gonna be good enough. It's gonna be embarrassing. Like it's not gonna be up to like the kind of like standard of the work that I want, other people to associate with the work that I would do. And it's like, and it's going on and on and on for hours and hours and hours and on end. And like then like because I was submitting this like the business plan, and then it's just so unhealthy the way that I was just pushing myself and not looking at the source of negative thought. And so and then when I submitted it and then I got the grant, or like, yeah, and it was successful, I was like, what, like it was a relief, but not really. Like, because I was already thinking, like, what else do I need to do? But mostly it was just because I had put my body through like such a terrible posture for so long and through under so much stress, also called fear, that I really put my body through something that was like not no. I just opened my trusty like Google Docs. So like I just have on a Google Doc that kind of uses a diary, because it's so helpful when you're on the go to like do one of the Thrive exercises. So you can say like, I'm proud of blah 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 because blah blah blah, and how I would hype a dear friend of mine if they had said that they were proud of doing, you know, um, your favorite science. I'll give a quick example. Like, I'm proud that I painted the wall of my bedroom. Why? Because I said I wanted to do it for the longest time, the last 2 years. I haven't done it. I'm so pleased about it. This is just another example of the many ways that I am building the trust in myself that I can actually achieve and do like many interesting and cool things that I didn't have previous skills to do. I found this super encouraging, and this alongside all these other things. And so you just basically are, like trying to be your best, supporter, and many times just being objective. it's like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And the third point would be, okay, what if, my closest friend or someone I love a lot, like, family member, um, partner, whatever, they come up and they like, oh my gosh, I'm so proud that, I painted this wall. It's been a long time. Exactly what you said, but to you. And so, oh gosh, the pain is back. Ugh, honestly, it's just about posture. And also, like, I have not been working out, and like, working out is so healthy for me to like just feel good and better and like, just healthy in general, you know what I mean? So I was just so positive for mental health. So I'm very pleased to go back to that. But yeah, yeah, so yeah, so you just hype the other person that you love the way that you'd want to be hyped, because at the end of the day, that's just, yeah, if you're being really nice to other people because you love them, like, why wouldn't you do that to yourself? So that's it. That was 6 minutes. That's more than the 5 minutes I said I'd do today. And I'll see if I'm brave enough to do this, but on Instagram. Bye, everybody. I don't know. I find it weird on Instagram because they kind of let other people know that you're going live. And I'm like, I'm not sure if I want other people to, like, it's just weird because, like, if you're watching things on social media, there's just this element of voyeurism. Like, I don't know if that's correct word, but you're just like watching, 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 and like, and then to appear on someone's, I don't know, maybe it's fine, but I just find it weird. It's like you choose when to be social, and like if you're going on live, then like you're not really choosing. Like someone's like saying like, "Oh, I want to be social online." I don't know. It's weird, but maybe it's just me. Okay, good night.